Spread across nearly 63 million square miles, the Pacific Ocean is a mystery in itself. It is the largest ocean on Earth. In fact, it is bigger than all the continents combined. The depth and vastness of this ocean are so extreme that countless hidden mysteries lie beneath its waters. But there is one mystery about the Pacific that will completely blow your mind. And to understand that mystery, you need to take a close look at the world map. Have you ever carefully observed the map of Earth? If you have, then you may have noticed something strange. On one side of the planet, there are multiple continents, islands, and massive populations. But on the other side, covering the largest area of Earth, lies the Pacific Ocean, and there is almost no major continent in the middle of it. Why does the world's largest ocean appear so empty? Why are there so few large landmasses, islands, and civilizations in such a massive area? What makes the Pacific Ocean so different from the rest of the planet? Let's dive deep into this mystery. You've probably seen a globe showing all the continents, oceans, and landforms on Earth. But have you ever felt that something about our planet looks unusual? Almost all the major continents are grouped together on one side, while the other side is dominated almost entirely by one gigantic ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Doesn't that seem strange? This is not some small sea. The Pacific Ocean alone covers nearly 30% of Earth's entire surface area. Its total size is about 165.2 million square kilometers. To understand how massive that is, imagine combining all 7 continents together. Even then, they still would not equal the size of the Pacific Ocean. Now, Earth itself is filled with mysteries, and one of the greatest mysteries is the story of its continents. Today, we see separate continents and oceans, but millions of years ago, all the continents were joined together into one gigantic supercontinent known as Pangaea. Pangaea covered nearly 200 million square kilometers. Surrounding it was a single massive ocean called Panzalasa, a true superocean. But then something happened that completely changed the face of the planet. The reason behind that transformation was tectonic plates. Due to the movement of tectonic plates, Pangaea slowly began to break apart. The first scientist to explain this was a German scientist named Alfred Wegener in 1912. He introduced the continental drift theory. At first, many scientists rejected his theory, but over time, evidence proved that Wegener was right. According to the continental drift theory, Earth's continents have never been fixed permanently in one place. Instead, they continuously break apart, drift, and reconnect over millions of years. This cycle never truly stops. The 7 continents we see today may one day merge again into another supercontinent. Or perhaps Earth could split into even more continents in the future. Nobody knows for sure. Now you might be wondering, what does all this have to do with the Pacific Ocean? Well, the answer to the Pacific's emptiness is actually hidden in the breakup of Pangaea itself. Scientists believe Earth has gone through multiple supercontinent cycles during its 4.5 billion year history. Continents have repeatedly merged and separated. Pangaea was simply the most recent version of this process, and according to scientists, the cycle is still continuing today. But how do entire continents move? Again, Alfred Wegener provided the answer. He explained that tectonic plates beneath Earth's surface are responsible for the movement of continents. Deep inside Earth, heat from the core and mantle creates energy that slowly moves these massive plates. However, these movements do not always happen in the same way. Sometimes tectonic plates move away from each other. This is called a divergent boundary. When this happens, land masses separate, and a new body of water forms between them. Over time, this can grow into an ocean. Nearly 200 million years ago, this exact process transformed the single superocean Panzalasa into the 5 oceans we know today. That is why scientists still technically consider all oceans connected as one global ocean, even though humans have given different names to different regions. And this process is not something that happened only in the distant past. It is still happening right now. For example, Africa is slowly splitting apart. Millions of years in the future, a new ocean could form in the middle of Africa. But tectonic plates can also move in another way, through convergent boundaries. This happens when two plates collide with each other. When they crash together, land is pushed upward, forming mountain ranges. The best example of this is the Himalayas. The Himalayas formed because the Indian tectonic plate collided with the Eurasian plate. And this collision is still happening today. In fact, the Himalayas continue to rise slightly every year. Now you may be asking, what does plate movement have to do with the Pacific Ocean being empty? The answer is everything. The Pacific Ocean sits on top of an enormous tectonic plate, known as the Pacific Plate, the largest tectonic plate on Earth. This plate constantly collides with surrounding plates. These collisions mostly happen around the edges of the Pacific Ocean, in a region known as the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is one of the most dangerous geological zones on Earth. It is filled with volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and seismic activity. Because of these violent forces, islands in this region are constantly being created and destroyed. This makes the Pacific region extremely unstable. Unlike the Atlantic Ocean, which contains many large and stable islands, the Pacific's islands are often small, temporary, and geologically unstable. Many eventually sink beneath the ocean or are reshaped by tectonic activity. The Ring of Fire itself stretches nearly 40,000 kilometers around the Pacific Ocean. It forms a massive, horseshoe-shaped belt of volcanoes and mountains. This region experiences about 75% of all volcanic activity and earthquakes on Earth. Japan is one of the clearest examples of this. Frequent earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions occur there because Japan sits directly on the Ring of Fire. This constant tectonic instability is one of the biggest reasons why no massive continent formed in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Scientists believe there are two major reasons behind the Pacific's emptiness. The first reason is the Ring of Fire itself. It acts like a giant barrier. Even though tectonic plates move constantly, the violent geological activity prevents stable continental formation in the Pacific. The second reason lies in the Pacific Plate. This enormous plate is incredibly heavy and powerful. Instead of allowing other continental plates to move into the Pacific region, it effectively blocks them. Since the Pacific Plate itself lies mostly beneath ocean water, it prevents large land masses from forming above it. That is why the Pacific does not have a giant network of continents and major islands like other oceans. Of course, this does not mean the Pacific has no islands at all. In reality, the Pacific contains around 25,000 islands, more than any other ocean. Most of them were formed through underwater volcanic eruptions. But there is one important detail. Most of these islands are extremely small. Many are so tiny that they don't even appear clearly on world maps. Some islands are thousands of kilometers away from each other, making communication and development difficult. For example, the Hawaiian Islands are separated by vast distances from many other island groups. Because of this isolation, large civilizations and major urban centers could not easily develop across the Pacific. That is why, despite containing thousands of islands, the Pacific Ocean still appears empty. Compared to the sheer size of the ocean itself, these islands look like grains of salt scattered across an endless sea. And the story doesn't end there. The Pacific Ocean is still changing today. Around its edges, subduction zones continuously pull tectonic plates beneath Earth's mantle. This process has been ongoing ever since the breakup of Pangaea. Scientists believe that roughly 200 million years in the future, Earth's continents may once again merge into a new supercontinent. And when that happens, the map of Earth could look completely different. Perhaps one day, a giant continent may even form in the Pacific Ocean itself. Or maybe all existing continents could drift towards the Pacific, leaving other parts of Earth mostly empty. No one can say for certain. But one thing is clear. The Pacific Ocean is not empty by accident. Its mysterious emptiness is the result of billions of years of tectonic activity, destruction, volcanic forces, and the ever-changing nature of our planet itself. So what do you think about this incredible mystery of the Pacific Ocean? And would you like a separate deep dive video about the Ring of Fire? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.